Hey guys, so I have quite the book haul for you today. Quite the book haul. Also, I apologize if I'm talking a little bit softer. Everyone else in my house is sleeping. It's midnight, and it's summer. I'm literally the only one in my house awake. Sleep is for people who don't stay up all night. Gosh. Also, there's like a cricket somewhere in this vicinity, and it's like making everything seem even quieter when I pause. Anyway, this is my July book haul, and this is the last book haul that I will have before I'm back at school, which is like the worst thought ever right now. Summer like flew by and was not nearly as awesome as I thought it was going to be, but I still have plenty of time, just not a full month. So instead of doing what I usually do in my book hauls where I talk about books that I read and then like kind of do an update and talk about cover reveals and then talk about books that I bought, I think I'm going to just skip ahead to the books that I bought because there are lots, and most people, they just want to see book hauls and they don't care about anything else I talk about. Of all my videos, the book hauls get thousands of views and then everything else just like no. So this month I bought 13 books, which doesn't sound like as many as it is. So I'm just gonna jump in. The first book I got this month was Wake by Lisa McMann. This is the first book in the Wake trilogy. There's Wake, Fade, and Gone. I really like the covers of these books. There's Fade and Gone on the back. I haven't heard too much about this in the BookTube community, but my cousin has told me that it's like the best trilogy ever. Well, not the best trilogy ever, but she said it's really good. So I picked up the first one and I want to read it soon because it looks like it's really quick. Like the font is get through a page in 30 seconds. And it's pretty short. So I'm very excited for Wake. Next, in preparation for my trip to Colorado, I picked up Bossypants by Tina Fey, and I also got the audiobook on my phone. I read this on vacation, so I will talk about this again when I go through the books that I read this month. This is Tina Fey's autobiography / memoir so far. I loved this so much. So while I was on vacation, I went to Denver and I picked up some books. It was a 2-story Barnes & Noble with an escalator. There was an escalator at Barnes & Noble. So I picked up Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. I got the hardcover, but the paperback, it did look pretty cool, but you know, I want the whole series to be hardcovers if I continue. I'm not too sure on what this is about really, but I read about it a while ago and it looked pretty interesting. A lot of people have talked about it, so I'm excited to give it a go. Also on vacation, I picked up Cross by James Patterson. This is the 12th book in the Alex Cross series. The movie is coming out really soon. I want to go see it, and this is not one of those series that you have to read in order because I haven't read any other Alex Cross books. I mean, it might be better if you read them in order, but I'm not doing that because the movie is based on this book. So the next book I got is The Land of Stories, The Wishing Spell by Chris Colfer, or you might know him as Kurt. Chris Colfer plays Kurt on Glee, so I went to his book signing and that's where I got this. And I got this signed by Chris Colfer, so you know, no big deal. So I met him, but I didn't get to take a posed picture with him, but I kind of like stood in front of where he was while I was waiting in line. I feel like no one's actually reading this book, they're just buying this for his signature. I feel bad. This has to do with fairy tales and just a big mix, and it's a children's book. It's about these two people, Alex and Connor. It's pretty much all I know. I will read this eventually. So the next book I got, and I do have the arc of this, I just didn't read it in time and I would rather have the hardcover. So yeah, I got Pandemonium by Lauren Oliver. This is the second book in the Delirium trilogy. I read Delirium. It wasn't the best, but I've been told that Pandemonium is 10 times better. It's a whole lot shorter, and if I'm being honest, I'm gonna say it's probably as long as Delirium should have been. Yeah. I'm actually really excited to see what happens. Now that I'm used to the writing style, it shouldn't be as bad. Also, the third book coming out next year, you know, just yeah. Next, I got Partials by Dan Wells. I've been seeing a lot of people getting this book and reading it, and the sequel Fragments is also coming out next year. So I've heard good and bad things about this, so I'm pretty nervous to read it, but I'm still going to try it. I guess we'll see how it goes. It's pretty pretty thick. So the next book I got was Cinder by Marissa Meyer. I've been wanting to get this for a while, mainly because I've been hearing about so many people talking about it. And it sounded interesting enough. It's a fairy tale retelling, kind of. Cinderella is a freaking cyborg. So I don't think I need to say anything else. This is the first book in the Lunar Chronicles. The second book, Scarlet, comes out next year. So next, in preparation for the movie that's coming out on Christmas, if you don't know what it is by now, okay. I got The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. This is a classic, and I don't always enjoy classics because they're really hard to get through, but I still read classics. This looks actually really good. You know, like I read the first line and it's actually really intriguing. In my younger and more vulnerable years, my father gave me some advice that I've been turning over in my mind ever since. Doesn't that make you want to know, like, what he said? Suspense. So I'm really excited to read this, and I definitely want to read it before the movie comes out. Also, along those lines, I wanted to get The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. This is the prelude to the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and it has been made into a movie, and it's coming out later this year, I believe, but it's being split into 3 parts. I got the hardcover, the 70th anniversary edition, and it's only 300 pages, so basically that's a full-length movie for every 100 pages. That should be interesting. I'm very excited to read The Hobbit. I've heard amazing things about it. I've also heard, you know, mediocre things about it. Very interested to see, you know, where it takes me. So this month I got a book, and it's 3 books in 1 book, so it counts as 1 book, I guess. But you can be sure that on Goodreads I'm going to count it as 3 books. It is the I Am Number 4 Lost Files, the Legacies. In here we have 6's legacy, 9's legacy, and the Fallen Legacies. It's the stories of 6, who is featured in I'm Number 4 and the Power of 6, and then 9, who shows up at the end of Power of 6. And then the Fallen Legacies, I assume, is the first 3 that are dead at the beginning of I Am Number 4. They originally had these as 3 ebooks, but they decided to put them all in 1 paperback. If it confuses you, just think of I Am Number 6, I Am Number 9, and I Am Dead. Good. So the next 2 books I actually got on my Kindle. Ooh. So I got Keep Holding On by Susane Colasanti. This is her newest book, and I've heard that it's the best one. And I also got The Truth About Forever by Sarah Dessen. I asked you guys what was the best Sarah Dessen book. The most popular response was The Truth About Forever, so you know, I'm going to read it and let you know what I think. So those are all the books that I bought this month. Why you know contain money. So let's talk about books that I read this month. This month I read 5. I mean, for my contest I read some children's books just to like keep myself up there. If you don't know what the contest is, it's a contest I'm doing with my cousin that goes until August 18th. Whoever reads more books in the summer wins $20. In the last video I said 20 bucks and someone thought it was the books. Nope, just $20, which is equal to 1 book. I read some Roald Dahl books. I read Estio Trot, The Magic Finger, The Enormous Crocodile. Of course, these are rereading because I've already read these and a long time ago. It was a good time, but I didn't count those as anything because I'd feel bad about that. Didn't count them for anything except for that contest. We're both doing that, so don't yell at me. So the first actual book I read this month was The Tales of Beetle the Bard by J.K. Rowling. I will leave the links to all the reviews and all the videos I did this month in the description. I gave this 4 stars. I really enjoyed all the stories in here. I did a conjoined book review of this and Bossypants, but there's annotations in that video so you can just skip ahead to this. If you're a Harry Potter fan, you definitely need to read this. The next book I read was Bossypants by Tina Fey, which I talked about earlier. This is one that I got this month and read. I also listened to the audiobook, and I gave this 5 stars because it's like one of my favorite books of all time. I've been watching 30 Rock endlessly. Been watching her movies. Like, I'm obsessed with Tina Fey now. The next book I read this month, let's see if I can do this. The Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight by Jennifer E. Smith. Whew. I gave this 5 stars. It's so much better than everyone makes it out to be. There's so much more going on in the story, and I really liked all the characters and everything. It's just 5 stars for me. It's definitely a cute, fun, awesome, light, quick read. I actually read this while I was on the plane on my way to Colorado, so that's awesome. Like, all the flight procedures she was talking about were the exact same things that I had just been through. It was freaky. The next book I read this month was Amy and Roger's Epic Detour by Morgan Matson, and I could not put this down. It was 5 stars, like, times a kabillion 5 stars. I really pretty much enjoyed everything about this book. The playlists and the maps, they just made everything like so much cooler, and how the characters progress and just the storyline in general everywhere they go. I loved this book. Also, don't let the cover discourage you if you're one of those anti-romance people, because no, there's so much more. There's like barely any romance, trust me. So the last book I want to talk to you guys about is one I read throughout the month, and that is Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. Funny story, these book hauls are pre-filmed because they take a long time to edit, so I haven't actually finished this yet, or done my discussion, or filmed my book and movie review, or even watched the movie. I haven't even filmed my review of Amy and Roger's Epic Detour yet. I literally just finished it. When you're watching this, I have finished this. Let's just put this bookmark down. So I did 4 videos on this month, 3 discussions, one for part 1, one for part 2, and one for part 3. They're all spoiler filled, and then I did a book review that was no spoilers, and a movie review tied into it. So there will be links in the description, and I guess you'll have to see for yourself, but I can tell you that I gave this 4 stars. So let's talk about August, shall we? Shall we? I think we shall. I'm so excited for August. I don't even care that school is starting. I'm excited for school to start because, like, I'm going to a new school, and it's gonna be awesome. Like, all of my friends are there, and except for, like, my best friend, but you know. I'm just really excited for August, but not just because of school, although it's not a bad thing. I haven't been doing anything all summer. Like, I'm not even kidding you, it's really depressing. I've just been sitting in my room. I'm babbling now. Oh my god, what's happening? Okay, so August 6th, can we talk about Nevermore by James Patterson? Oh, I'm so excited. This is the final Maximum Ride book, which I thought was coming out in February, you know? This would all be over like months ago. If you're not a Maximum Ride fan yet, utilize the next 6 days and read the following books. The Angel Experiment, School's Out Forever, Saving the World and Other Extreme Sports, The Final Warning, Max, Fang, and Angel. You don't want to miss this, because Maximum Ride, I feel like I've grown so attached to these characters, but when I, like, I'm like never gonna see them again. We've been there with them through everything. I'm just so excited to see if this book is either awesome or if it sucks, because there is no in the middle. There is no in the middle. Also on August 14th, The Kill Order by James Dashner. Actually, I'm really excited for this, but I don't know what to expect. There's so many unanswered questions at the end of the Death Gear, and like, they're supposedly can be answered here, but we're not gonna know any of the characters, and I'm hesitant, but I'm excited. Also, The Rise of Nine by Pittacus Lore on August 21st. It's the 3rd book in the Lorien Legacies, the sequel to I Am Number 4 and The Power of 6. There are a few sample chapters online. There's also 16 sample chapters for Nevermore by James Patterson. So excited for this. I'm so excited to see where John and Six and Sam end up. Well, I know where Sam ended up. Just I really want to read 6's Legacy, 9's Legacy, and the Fallen Legacies before that one comes out. August is going to be awesome for us, you guys. I think I'm going to make a video about books that are coming out in the next year, because there's like so many awesome things. Michael Grant this month, he came up with the end of the Gone series. He knows how it's going to end, and he knows the last sentence and the last paragraph, and it killed me inside because I'm not going to get it till like April. I'm not going to know what he's talking about until April. Awesome, right? Dying inside. You know, we got Beautiful Redemption and The Mark of Athena, Clockwork Princess, Pandemonium, Scarlet, Unravel Me. Can I just say etc. because I'm missing so many. Also, I haven't done a bookshelf tour since Christmas, and the whole when are you gonna do a bookshelf tour thing has started. And my answer is whenever I hit 2,000 subscribers. My bookshelf has been rearranged and is ready for a tour. So I just need about 500 more subscribers and it'll happen. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and have enjoyed my videos this month. Thank you for watching, stay awesome, and I will see you guys later.